and we are live on YouTube. And for today, we're doing a live stream focusing specifically on the developments regarding the Lamont Roach versus Gervonta Davis fight that is um, that is set to occur in May. This I think next month. If my memory is a little hazy, so I have to double check my date and time of when it's happening. I don't know if I remember. I remember it's happening in Las Vegas. I can't remember where exactly it's happening, but it's happening in Las Vegas in May, I believe. So I have this is going to be kind of an extensive um, live stream for today, but I have 7 articles here just covering the length and breadth of everything that's been going down um, since I first started covering this fight and it caught my attention. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, looking at last month, March 17th, 2025, this article was written on SportsIllustrated.com. In fact, all the articles here that I'm referencing are from SportsIllustrated.com that are just going down over time. So it says here, Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach rematch announcement has boxing fans divided. Let's get into this article here. After one of the more controversial boxing matches in recent memory, took place between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach on March 1st, the entire boxing community was clamoring to see these two face off again so that the first fight's majority draw decision could be put in the rear view. It quickly became clear that both sides were looking to get a rematch together, and an ex-post from Sports Illustrated's Chris Mannix confirmed this by writing, quote, a Tank Roach rematch could happen as early as June 1st in Las Vegas, sources told Sports Illustrated. My mistake. So it's definitely happening in June, not in May. So it's June 21st. It will be happening in Las Vegas. Both sides are now committed to running it back. Continuing the article, it says, now that a date and location for Davis versus Roach 2 is seemingly being finalized, there has been social media debate from fans about which of these world-class boxers will emerge victorious in the second showdown. Some fans are siding with Roach. One example of this is with ex-user who wrote 2 photos from the first fight and wrote Roach is beating Gervonta Davis again. Another fan posted a gif of Cockroach wielding a lightsaber, an indication that they're favoring Roach. Other fans are siding with Davis. Other fans are siding with Davis. I gotta move that out the way. I'm sorry. For the rematch, in one example, a fan who wrote, I thought Roach won the first 115-113, but I think Tank will make adjustments and win the rematch. Tank, I think Roach will be very competitive, but Tank will KO him in the later rounds. Another added, the hype for this fight is only going to build as the expected rematch date gets closer. So there's the article from SportsIllustrated.com in regards to from March 17th last month in regards to Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach rematch occurring in Las Vegas on June 21st. So in an updating article, Mike Tyson throws his 2 cents in, and he gives his own opinion on what he thinks of Gervonta Tank Davis. So this article is written on April 5th, 2025, and it reads here, Gervonta Tank Davis has been under a microscope ever since his controversial fight against Lamont Roach on March 1st. Wow. There isn't a ton of attention paid to this fight before it took place. The majority draw outcome, combined with the questionable decisions that Davis made in the 9th round, which he perplexingly wasn't punished or penalized for, has him subject to a lot of scrutiny right now. Not only are some questioning whether he's an overrated boxer after not winning a fight in which he entered as a negative 600 betting favorite, but there has been a lot of talk about whether Davis is in the right headspace to be a world-class boxer at this point in his career. Um, Boxing legend Mike Tyson did an April 2nd interview with Sports Illustrated, and at one point he is asked his opinion of Tank Davis at this point in his career. Mike Tyson said, quote, "We've got to look at Tank. Tank is very exciting," Tyson said when asked which current boxers are catching his attention. Along with Davis, Tyson mentioned Terence Crawford and David Benavidez as exciting boxers to watch right now. When asked whether Tank should have been knocked a point because his knee on the mat in the ninth round against Roach, he said, quote, "Yeah, the point should have been taken away. Regardless about what's in his eye, he did took the knee, should have got the point taken away, whatever the rule called for." Mike Tyson is clearly a fan of Tank Davis and will surely be tuned in for his fight against Lamont Roach. I don't know what happened to my website right there. So Mike Tyson will be there, present at Lamont Roach and Tank Davis's fight on June 21st. So we're going to be expecting to see him there. Now continuing, let's just go on to the third article we have here. Coach reveals Gervonta Davis might be considering retirement after Lamont Roach fight on April. This article was written April 6, 2025. So it says here, going into the article, in a span of just over a month, it feels like a ton has changed when it comes to the boxing career of Gervonta Tank Davis. This is largely owed to what happened during his March 1st fight against Lamont Roach Jr. for the World WBA lightweight title, particularly when Davis took a knee during the ninth round, and then he had a member of his corner wipe his face with a towel. Says here, while Tank wasn't penalized for either of these actions, he has been blasted by the boxing community and fan base for making such ill-advised decisions. Given that they should have resulted in him losing the fight instead of escaping with a majority draw, which is what the fight's outcome ultimately was. Mental mistakes in the ring aside, some were more concerned with Davis' state of mind leading up to the fight, such as Clarissa Shields saying he should seek therapy because of his pre-fight comments and demeanor. There were several times before the fight when Davis mentioned that he might end up retiring sooner rather than later, and while he hasn't said that or much of anything else since the fight, his coach Kenny Ellis did discuss Davis' potential retirement during an April 6th interview, with Mill City Boxing, when Kenny Ellis was talking about a potential fight between Tank and Shakur Stevenson. He said that they don't tell Tank when to move, but it's boxing, though. Anything might happen. You never know. Tank might retire, man, and you got to wait and see what he will do. He later added, whatever Tank does, I respect it. If he keeps going, he's got my support. If he retires, excuse me, he's got my report. He's got my support. I'm sorry. He later. Oh, it's fascinating. It's fascinating to hear that Tank's coach talking about his pupil's potential retirement once again after this controversial Roach fight. So there's an article in this article here. It looks like the coach is saying that we might see this time. Last time might be the Gervonta Tank Davis last time being in the boxing ring and once he's retiring, he's not coming back. He's going to focus on other things that's going to keep him, how can I say, just keep him occupied. Um, so so there's the article from April 6th, guys, talking about Gervonta Davis. Um, so I'm just gonna do one more article. I'm gonna split this into part 1 and part 2. So continuing, it says Lamont Roach reveals Gervonta Davis is ghosting him before rematch, and this article was written April 8th, 2025. Lamont Roach shared an interesting anecdote about his attempts to contact Gervonta Tank Davis after their March 1st draw. It says here, the entire boxing world is eager to see when an official date and time will be announced for the rematch between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach, when all indications are that a rematch is guaranteed to take place and is being reported likely to occur on June 21st in Las Vegas. The lack of an official announcement thus far is unsettling to some. What's for sure is that Gervonta Davis has essentially been nowhere to be found online since his controversial first his controversial first fight against Roach occurred on March 1st, on March 1st, which resulted in a majority draw despite many believing Roach deserved to win. Roach, on the other hand, has been popping up everywhere, doing multiple interviews to state his case for winning the fight, discussing the fateful knee that Davis took in the middle of the 9th round, and discussing his sentiment regarding the match. Roach's most recent interview was alongside boxing icon Andrew Ward on the All the Smoke Fight podcast on April 8th. And one point, he shared an interesting anecdote about his post-fight interaction attempts with Tank. Roach first discussed how he and Tank had a lot of mutual respect before the fight. When Ward asked him whether it's the same fight after the fight, he sighed and said he changed his number. I tried to call him, he changed his number. Roach then mentioned how he and Davis shook hands on a pre-fight bet, but Davis would knock him out. I ain't got that yet. He's changed my number. He changed his number, but that will be a conversation for another day. Hopefully Roach will get to confront Davis about this in person as well. So it seems that Davis and Roach, kind of have a little drama ensuring in this pre-fight, anticipated pre-fight that's going to occur between Davis and Roach. So there's a lot that remains to be seen. I don't want to keep this live stream for too long. I know I said it was going to be 7 articles, but I'm going to really shorten this down to 4, because I think for the next broadcast, the next live stream that we do, I want to continue talking about Davis and Roach and bringing you guys the last 3 articles that are covering the news on Davis and Roach. So, just going to be looking forward to seeing what is going to be happening with that. So, let me know what you guys think in the comment section about this fight. I've covered a few articles here. I tried to cover 7, but covering 7 articles is a lot to cover. When I'm not making a video, I'm doing a live stream, of course, but I definitely think just at least take it. It's a good idea to cut it in half and kind of break it down, and definitely want to bring more of what has been said covering the fight going forward, because it's gonna be happening June 1st in Las Vegas, and we know the date and time. So it's gonna be really exciting to see what's gonna happen with Davis and Roach. And they have some time. They still have time to prepare. So I'm sure that's what they're doing, working themselves up and working themselves into shape. So, and it's not going to be easy for them, but obviously they got to put in the work in order to get some success, and that's what that's what that's what we want to see happen on to June 21st. So I'm gonna be stopping here in this live stream, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was educational for you. So definitely gonna be bringing more news on what's going on between Davis and Roach. So I hope to do that soon, and so I'll talk to you guys later. And